While Jumpman was originally programmed for the Atari 8-bit computers, the Commodore 64 version is considered as one of the most classic computer games for the system, which many still consider to be the best overall version of the game. You take control of a bomb squad officer, and your task is to run around each level, disarming all of the bombs on the screen. Unfortunately, there's a constant barrage of enemies and other dangerous hazards to deal with along the way. The game features 30 levels, each one with its own unique set of dangers to deal with. Everything from disappearing ledges to bombs dropping from the sky. You'll no doubt have your hands full during each level. The game eases you in with a couple of pretty simple to understand levels. You'll go about your goal of defusing bombs and slowly notice changes to a given stage. Pieces of scenery disappear, creating new gaps to jump over. A floating pixel will chase you down and kill you if you get in its line of sight. But the obstacles only increase as you complete levels. It isn't long before you see killer robots that change position every time you defuse a bomb, or a plethora of bombs falling from the sky, or flying saucers, or rabid bats. Sometimes the challenges aren't adversaries. Sometimes they're things like moving ladders or the scenery. Every one of these attempts to impede you can be overcome with enough practice. Over time, you begin to recognize patterns and figure out what you're supposed to do. But it doesn't become a cakewalk, because actually doing what you're supposed to still requires dexterity. When you clear a level, you'll hear one of a multitude of cheery carnival tunes. These go along with the circus-like feel of the game's introduction animation. Jumpman gives you 9 lives to get through the stages. You can choose from several difficulty settings, which will start at a stage where the appropriate difficulty jump occurs. You can also select Grand Loop, which does all 30 levels in a row, or you can choose the randomizer, which plays the levels in a random order. Beyond that, you can also choose a game speed. The center value of 4 will run the game at the standard speed. The max speed of 8 is probably too fast for all but the most devoted player, and the minimum speed of 1 makes the game exceptionally slow. The speed setting is a nice option though, because it can make the game a bit more interesting. Visually, Jumpman isn't much to look at. Stages are made of simple shapes and a handful of colours. Jumpman himself is little more than a stick figure, but the gameplay in Jumpman is amazing. Moving about the levels is very smooth, and the controls are tight. One interesting thing the game does is allow Jumpman to climb anything he touches. If you go for a jump and your hand nabs part of the scenery, you'll climb it. There are also some cool navigational variables thrown in the form of ropes. Green ropes can only be climbed up, while blue ropes can only be climbed down. Between this and the other mechanics introduced through the enemy character types, Jumpman becomes surprisingly deep for such a simple game. There are a few minor differences between the different versions of Jumpman. The original Atari 400/800 version features some really slick transition animations between levels as you clear them. It also has a pretty cool stage destruction sequence when you run out of lives and get a game over. The Commodore 64 version has a little bit more detail in the graphics department. It gives our hero a shirt and pants through some simple colours. The music sounds a teeny bit better too. It is missing the stage transitions, and if you lose you don't see the level explode. Instead, you get a harmonious musical number. Jumpman was also followed up by Jumpman Jr, which is really a companion version of the game. Also, the addition of this being a cartridge game makes it one of the more sought after games for us C64 games collectors. It's pretty much exactly the same game as Jumpman, except it only has 12 stages. In the end, Jumpman and Jumpman Jr are games that really deserve more recognition than they get, at least when compared with other retro games. Things may look more like a carnival than a space station, and the bombs may look more like flowers, but once you get past the rudimentary look of everything, you'll be engrossed in one of the most addictive puzzlers of all time. Big thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and do be sure to share your experiences with Jumpman, or indeed Jumpman Jr, in the comments section. Which one did you have? I'd be interested to hear your nostalgic memories. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow me on this epic journey, revisiting classic titles just like this. With plenty more games on the channel playlists and more being added all the time. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now.